everyone, it's your girl Shay here, and I'm back with another video for you guys. And for this Saturday's video, I'm talking about fanfiction again, but specifically I'm talking about anime fanfiction. So what I want to kind of know is I want to see what was everyone's first anime fanfiction that they ever read. How did they get introduced to anime fanfiction, and why did they keep reading it, or did you keep reading it? So for me, I actually came upon the whole atmosphere of fanfiction fairly late into the game. So I actually didn't find out about fanfiction until I was about 18 years old, or right before I was about to head off to my freshman year of college. And I remember the reason why I started reading fanfiction was because at the time I had just finished watching Inuyasha up to the point of where they left off, which is episode 167 was the last episode, and I hadn't yet watched all the movies, but I wanted to know what was going to happen next. And at that point in time, there was no ending yet for Inuyasha, or the manga had just ended, but I wanted more. I wanted just to read a lot more. So I think I either Googled something and fanfiction popped up, and I immediately started reading it. And I don't remember the title of the first one that I ever read, but I do remember that it was titled, or not titled, but it was by a author by the name of Doggy Ear Lover, I believe. And it was Inuyasha fanfiction, or Inuyasha fanfic that she wrote, and it was in 3 parts. And I remember it talked about how Inuyasha and Kagome were soulmates and they had this power, and I just loved it. After that, I went Googling everywhere I could for Inuyasha fanfiction, and there were several different sites that I used to read fanfics on, Media Miner, and I believe there was another one that I actually used to read on as well, but I really didn't start devouring a lot of anime fanfiction until I found fanfiction.net. And I think my entire freshman and sophomore year of college, I read, or I went through almost every single page of completed Inuyasha fanfiction that there was on fanfiction.net. I didn't read all of them, I will say. I feel like I had my criteria was that it had to be more than 10 chapters, it had to be completed, and that was probably my only and obviously in English, but I think after that was kind of the only criteria that I had for reading a fanfic. But I read most of them, or I read any of them that I found were interesting, or the synopsis was interesting. And I also ended up reading some that people greatly recommended. For one was called Tales in the House of the Moon, I believe, but it was a Sesshomaru and Kagome fanfiction, and I remember that one was ridiculously good, and it was one of my favorites. And I think so on from there, every time I would watch a new anime, I would also look up on fanfiction.net if there was any congruent fanfiction about this series. I know I read a lot of Bleach fanfiction, I know I read a lot of Inuyasha fanfiction, Kuroko's basketball fanfiction I know I read some Naruto fanfiction, but not a whole lot fanfiction, because at that point I was kind of not reading as much as I used to. But yeah, that was how I got started into fanfiction. I know a lot of people don't like fanfiction, or they find it strange, or they find it weird. I find it pretty interesting because I think it's kind of cool that we have these people that will take these characters and will write stories about them, and some of them are really good. Yes, some of them are very, very bad, but some of them are actually really good. But now I, of course, extend the question to you guys. What was your first fanfiction that you ever read? What anime title was it based off of? And have you continued reading fanfiction ever since, or did you kind of stop? And if so, why? And if you have continued, also, why did you continue? That's what I would like to know. Of course, comment down below, let me know what your, the answers to these questions as well. Of course, I'll leave links down below to all my social media accounts, my Instagram, my Twitter, and my blog as well, so check me out on there. And of course, like always, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and like I always tell you guys, stay positive and be nerdy. Alright, you guys,